Hello to all my dear friends and sweet students. I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to the newest session of our modeling course. In this session, we're going to learn interesting and practical things in architectural designs together. In this exercise, I want to create an almost parametric wall for you. Please watch this session carefully, because the things we're doing and the technique we're using is a brief indication and topic of animation and recording these movements. To start, I'll draw a wall like this. I'll reduce its width a little, yes, like this, and I'll go to the front view. I'm going to the front view to rotate it. I want to see it like this. Okay, I select the line and start drawing my line exactly from here. Now, to create a parametric wall, we need to add vertices like this. In this state, almost like this. Now you can take your time with more detail. Yes, I'll close my spline almost like this. I go to the interpolation section. The adaptive tick is checked. Okay, I select these and pull them down a bit. We can easily edit this, even with the help of the Show End Result option. Just let me smooth these out. Yeah, I'll smooth it out like this and put it exactly in this part. Okay, the next thing we do is turn on the AutoKey here. This part is called the timeline. The number of frames we set here is shown here in the animation topic. To display it, see, you can enable or disable the timeline here, and by pressing the AutoKey and set options, you can create your animation. What does that mean? It means that when AutoKey is active, any movement you make here is being recorded. Okay, and in the parameters, anything that has two arrows next to it can be animated. Okay? Now we don't need those. The first thing I do is bring the time and put it on frame 100. Okay, and I'll pull it and put it right here. See, the keyframe is created, and if I go back and play it, frame 0, I go to the front view, and the next thing we need to do is change the position of the vertex in each frame. For example, every 10 frames, come one frame at a time. I'll change its vertex here. One is that I'm changing it here. I pull this inverter to this shape. Again, I go to frame 20. Again, I edit it a little. I come to frame 40. And in the same way, I apply these edits randomly. Okay, when we're done, you see, when I go back, it will be extruded exactly with this style. Okay, in the next step, I give it an extrude. Very little, almost, yeah, I think it's good now. 4,000 meters, meaning I think it's 4 millimeters. Okay, and after doing this, we go to the Tools section, Snapshot. This is very useful in the animation discussion. Now we don't get too involved with it, just to this extent. See, I put it on frame 0 and 100 itself. It is put this, and here in this section, this option I put it on. For example, 80 and mesh. Okay, I press C, we could easily create our parametric wall. Okay, now I can play with this one. Number, for example, I put this lower. See, their distance is different. I applied fewer edits here, so it wasn't very noticeable. I turn on AutoKey again, and I'll edit them a bit more systematically again. See, I use the 6 hide option. I turn on Light Show and Yod to see the effect of the extrude. So when I can now create these bulges here in each shot. Okay, I go to the next view. See, big changes seem to need to be applied to catch the eye. Okay, when the work is finished, see, now we're almost much more involved than before. And now I go back to the Tools section. Just don't turn it off. AutoKey should be on. Snapshot is active. I can now put this on 40, for example. See, it is completely clear now that these are distributed here in different ways. If we don't want this distance to fall between them, we have to play with this number. I put this, for example, 80. See, they are getting closer together. Very good. Once again, I think if we put 100, we will have a very good result. Yeah, it was great. If we want them to stick together, for example, it puts it on 100, and I think 30. Yeah, now I think their distance is much more logical. And in the same way, now that our work is finished, see, it doesn't do anything anymore. We can attach these to each other. Now I'll cover one of them. Edit Poly, I press Attach Multiple. I select the first one, hold down Shift, and come up to here. See, and we were able to create our parametric wall very easily. Okay, In the continuation of today's session, we'll get to know a very interesting and useful script and plugin. The plugin we want to work with is the FloorGenerator plugin, which many of you certainly know and have used in your work. Now you see they are on the site, and from CG Source Products, you can refer to the FloorGenerator version 2.1 multi-thresh and thresholds and accurace, and models of this company. Try to gradually learn the names of the companies and manufacturers of these scripts, or the famous companies making objects and torches. After this exercise, we'll go to importing objects and learn more about this topic. Okay, if we want to download it from this section, it might be necessary to create an account and go download it. But now in that section, I think they'll put the free version here for download. You have to buy the original version, yes. Now you can download the main version from Iranian sites like Safsaz from here. After the download operation is done, we go to the installation section, the location of Mac's installation in the plugin mode, and copy it here. Its version is only important. Now I have opened Mac's 22, and we copied 22 here. After copying, it's accessible here in our modify. What it does for us is creating and simulating wooden planks or NET that can help us in better simulating architectural projects. S thing is to draw a two-dimensional subject in this way and assign Lu to it. As soon as you assign it, according to your software unit, I'm working in meters. Here it's showing according to meters here. Its first option is these log states. See, the first one was standard. The second one is the Harrison state. That you have to be completely cautious when using these, because the possibility of Macs crashing in these states is very high, and you see we can access all kinds of ready-made tiles in this section. I'm setting it to standard for now. Let's learn its main options together. In Max Link mode, you can determine the length of these planks in this way. The next option is, this is dependent on max wides. This is also the width of these planks. See how well we could now simulate the wooden planks together, and you can assign the size completely realistically, according to the wood you have in mind. Okay, it's almost logical in my opinion now. Our next option is the vertin option. The distance between these joints, see, if I increase it, these joints will move away from each other. If I decrease it, they'll stick together, because I want to zero it. In parquet states, for example, that we usually zero for the floor of the house, it should be a little bit, because if it's too much, for example, garbage will accumulate here. I'll tighten it for now. Our next option, this can really help to make these planks real. If you zero this, see it came and went completely arranged. In some works we need it to be straight like this. You have ordered pants in mind, but for example, if you want to assign it to the bottom, definitely put it in states like this. For example, 20 is good now. Our next option, extrude. How much do these planks go up or come down? Its standard state is okay, and its main important option is boule. You see these have a state of being eaten. This main boule option comes here, and adjusts this, the more it is. Here we have a special model. Okay, the same model up to this shape. Okay, the next options, max tiled, the max tilt, and minute tiled option. What does it do? What it does is randomly raise or lower these planks. How interesting. Maybe this now, for example. In the bottom we use for the floor of the house. I don't think we need it. We say where it hurts now. For example, in front of a villa, you are building the plank operations, and you want to give a sense of antiquity to the space, because you know that the more you add disorder and dirt to the scene, you can give more sense of reality to the audience. Okay, and I don't think there is another option, a single scale rotate, that these planks scale completely. See, you can adjust a proportion here through these numbers. Okay, and adjust it through this scale. And you can even give it a rotation. See, for example, 45 degrees. I say rotate these. I'll close its title for now. It was great in the same way. I'll increase its volume a little more. Let's feel these planks with each other. Yeah, it's almost over. And in the UV settings section, see what great features it provides us. It says if you use floor, the random operation in Philip Knapp UV and OST comes randomly in both axes. It supports each channel, see for example, if I give it a did poly. Each of these has a separate ID, and this is amazing, and we can easily put each wooden plank randomly in one of these planks through Corona Multimap, Or even one of the plugins of this Sage source company called Multi-Xer. Exactly. And we don't have a single repetitive wooden plank. We can learn these in detail in the Corona course together. Almost my bottom is ready. I'll delete this edit poll for now. We can use states such as parquets like this. See, in modern works, it can be extremely real for us. Or this shape, all of them are up-to-date planks used in international projects. This is also this shape. It knows that each of them has a special option here. See, for example, you can increase or decrease it. See, we could easily create a Tide Ding Park thing now. We could easily create floor ceramics here. Or for example, I put the Exxon state for the back of the cabinet. You can use this, see, or for example, for the bottom you see we have floors that have grass or roads between them. You can decide as seer artist here which method to use. It's possible in the same way. Okay, let's go with the method of importing now. I forgot to put this here. For this we made it. Now we can easily give it the bottom of this through the same method, whether it's ceramic, parquet, or anything else that has a tile state. Now say, maybe I want it to be different here. Nothing? You draw a separate kettle here, you assign loo to exactly the same place, you draw a separate lathe here, you copy loo, you assign it in the same way. I only have a point. You should also say, when we come to draw a rect in this way, this is now anti-state upwards. The best state is this model. I select this now and assign fuel to it. Now it does this with the least margin of error. But sometimes, for example, you see we want to do this for the wall. See, for example, I go to the front view, I draw a nagel in this shape. See, now its Z is in this state. It's correct, it's up, but now the axis method has changed. Okay, don't give floor to it in these states. The possibility of crashing is there. But now, in the new versions, this happens very rarely. We gave it like this. In the old days, it would break. But now let's be careful. The point is to give it like this upwards. Oxy 45. I give the angle 45. See, it should be like this. And then assign floor to it. Okay, it's options. And when the work is finished, we turn it back in the same way. Its point was the same. Okay. Let's go now with the method of importing objects into the environment of 3D Studio Max. Let's learn. Okay, from the file section open. That you know we said in the first session, to import file. We use open, but mostly it happens that we are inside a scene. For example, this scene, this is our recent project that we worked on together with Mrs. Engineer Danishvar in partnership. Now we don't have a render of it so far, and it's almost the end of the project, and you'll see the results soon. It's a snowy scene that is one of the most popular scenes that you can now work on as a hobby or as a display render for your page, because it really gives a very good feeling and can present it to the audience. Okay, for example, now we edited this scene. I wish I had opened it. This is the first edit. Now I want to import a tree into this scene again. The method is in this way. I write a winter here. The trees of surge axis. The trees of winter states are amazing. You can use it in your work. I want to import one of these now. Find its name from the catalog. See whatever model we want to import. When you download it, we have a zip folder for the files themselves, for example. Each tree now has a name and a file here. We select one of these, and a part of it is also its map states, meaning the photos and thresholds and materials, and all the documents of these objects are collected here. So we always have two parts, and we have a catalog. Usually proper archives all have this catalog. And here I like one of its models. For example, this one, 29. See, I take it out, I drag it and drop it into the Max environment. This is called dragging. And you see, if I press open, and if I press open here, this seam will be completely closed, and this tree will open. But when I press Mojo, it comes as an object. As soon as it enters, try to isolate it. Why? Because there is a possibility that it has several pieces. See, this one, for example, has 2 pieces now. Okay, now I have to first introduce the materials to this. In what way? I say it again now, we don't work much with the material. In the material and Kuroda course, you will learn all these, so I don't work with its material for now. We only attach these and each other. These two become one aha. And now we can place this in our scene. So the method of importing was in this way. But sometimes you see that we have problems, and we cannot reg it from this section into meth as Mojo. If you see, this method usually happens in crowded scenes. To prevent this from happening, come to the file state. This port and MLCH from here, press the same. Now copy the address, see again one of the trees. You can even have a small preview from this section. For example, I press this, it says, now there are 3 trees. I say all of them, or even select one. I press OK. This is also a special converter. Aha. We don't work with it whenever it comes close. This is also one of the other ways to import objects. Okay, in this last session, let's also say a point and end this session for downloading and using these objects. We have many ways. The first way is to download these from the sites themselves. See example. I go from the CG tweet section. In 3D models, everything is here. See animals and ready-made models now. Some of their prices are really staggering. You see the same $182. Now with a discount, for example, this monkey is $324. 3 to this bag. This bag, the bag your water, one-time use to the bag, was $Buddha, Goda. Or for example in the sections, see here it is categorized, it really one of the professional companies, is the company CG Tweet. But now their prices are not affordable for us Iranians. I don't think. But now you can. If you want your work to be special, you can buy these pro objects, that later now we will learn the ways to buy them. But for now this method is used less. We also have many companies such as Surge Tweet, such as Cosell, which is one of the most popular and cool companies, making thresholds and ready-made models. Most of them here. Kids see go every day. CV is the CG Axis is amazing friendly sheet. Or, for example, sites like Thesaurus and of course download Threshold. You mean model or even or motion, which is one of the reputable centers for downloading models, which is known by the name Arch Model. The next method of download is the GFX Dovid reference site. Kids, maybe you're hearing these for the first time in the form of a pack we are making available to you. The best reference for downloading ready-made models is the GFX Dovid reference. Now CG Pay is also, but there is a limitation of logging in, registering that you can download from on special days of the year and download and use from the models that are released daily. I press the tread model. Here it brings us in all subjects. See for example, recently Arch Model 167 or Motion hacked and made available to us. And we can download this. For example, I go inside, I think it's a sofa model. Yeah, 20 professional sofa models from 2 RapidGator and Nitro Flare servers. You can download this, Ashurahas, give them the way they give mercy. Okay, but now I want this. If we want to download this from RapidGator, now it is almost impossible because it does not give the normal and free direct link. And more than 50% of what we go, this almost cuts off and we have to get an account from it. But I will introduce a workaround here. See, I go for example to this link and copy it. I go to the filegear.com site, an Iranian site. Its job is to convert pro links to direct links. You open an account here. I have already done this. I press login. Okay, we have now opened with Here You Come. To take Haji, it's not that expensive, 100 gigs. For example, 130. Tomins, I don't know. It's 10 gigs, is 20. Tomins, you copy its link here. We press download the account link that RapidGator had. Here, and here it comes to convert the link. Now sometimes it gives an or. We have some problems. These sites have to be constantly changed. Sometimes, for example, this site works, sometimes, for example, other sites you have. To search for this and find its best now, for example, I copy this, I open again. See, copy, let's see this supports it. Okay, here it is written, that support is done. And you see that it does not support it. Really, I forget it now. And our next method is downloading from Iranian sites such as the SoftSaz site. See here. All kinds of models are categorized by the filter of the manufacturer. The type of model, all the names, you can get a special account from them for a month. I think it is 50 and 60 Tomans. Or for example, the Moon Arc site. I myself have an account here. Really, their work is very good. All these objects that, for example, these sites GZena put with the least time. Finally, a few days, they put these here. And we can download from them. You can take an account here. The next site that I think Arch Project. Maybe I go to Google Arch Project. Yeah, you can download from this site that the quality is really amazing. You see that it is on their site and all of them are usable. And its last method is using the package of objects and texture, Studio Graph, that we have prepared the most complete collection available from pro objects for you. All of them with cataloging neatly with aces and famous companies that have been active in this field for years, are collected in this pack and is made available to the students of Studio Graph at the lowest cost. Okay, we come to the end of this session. I hope this session has been useful for you, and that you have made sufficient and value use of it until the next tutorials. God keep you.